Hi, today I'll be going through the Maha Bodhi School 2024 end of year examination for P5 paper 2. Right, so let's begin. Okay, question 1. Mr. Tan and his wife went to the movies and both of them are above 65 years old. Right? So based on this table here, the usual price of the ticket, okay, one ticket is $12.50. Okay, for senior citizens age above 65 years old, they get to have a 20% discount. So the question is asking how much did they pay for the movie tickets altogether? So if they actually get to enjoy 20% discount, right? The money that how many percent they're actually paying is 100% minus your 20%. So for each ticket, they're only actually paying 80%. So let's find 80% of $12.50 first. So I'll put 80 over 100. So this represents 80% of, you change it to a multiply of $12.50. Okay, so for this paper, you're allowed to use your calculator. You will get the answer, $10. So this is the price for one ticket. So there's two of them. So I simply just take $10 times 2. The answer will be $20. All right, so let's move on to question 2. The number of people visiting the zoo in a year is 1,380,000 when rounded to the nearest thousand. What is the largest possible number of people visiting the zoo? So whenever they ask question like largest possible number, okay, or the smallest possible number when they round off to certain thing, we have to draw the number line, okay? Unless you already know the answer straight away. Otherwise, you can use this number line to help you. So this is the rounded off answer. I will always put it in the middle. Okay, it's rounded to the nearest thousand, meaning here I have to plus 1,000, here I subtract 1,000. Okay, so if I subtract 1,000, I'll get 1,379,000. Here I'll get 1,381,000. So the question is asking for the largest possible, so I'll just focus on this first half here. Okay, I find the midpoint between these two numbers. It will be 1,380,500. Okay, so take note for largest possible number, right? You cannot just take this as the answer. You have to minus 1. Okay, so there's an extra step. Okay, so the answer is 1,380,499. That's the answer for question 2. If the question is asking for smallest possible number, right, you just need to find the midpoint between these two numbers, okay, which is, okay, so this is the answer if they ask for smallest possible. Do not need to plus or minus 1, okay? Only when they're asking for largest, you have to minus 1. So just take note on this. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, question 3. Sue had a bottle of cooking oil. She used an equal amount of oil each day. At the end of the second day, she had 1,240 ml of oil left. At the end of the fourth day, she had 1.09 liters of oil left. How much oil did Sue use each day? Leave your answer in ml. Okay, so for this question, you need to take note that she used equal amount each day. Okay, so we have after 2 days and after 4 days. So since she used an equal amount every day, right, I will draw a model to represent it, okay, so that you can visualize better. Okay, so this will represent the 4 days, and then she still had some oil left. So this one, I don't know how much, I just draw. Okay, so they say that after 2 days, she had 1,240 ml of oil left, meaning this is day 1, day 2. So from here to here, I will have 1,240 ml left. Next, they say that at the end of 4th day, means after 4 days, she had 1.09 liters of oil left. This question is asking for ml, right? So what I'll do first, I'll convert 1.09 liters into ml. So what I have to do, liters to ml, you times 1000, you will get 1090 ml. So meaning they say that after 4 days, right, means 1, 2, 3, 4 days later, this portion here will be the 1090 ml. All right, so we look at the difference between these two. Here to here is 1240, here to here is 1090. So we can find the 2 units over here. 2 units will simply be 1240, okay, ml. Okay, never mind, this one, I'll not write down the units. Okay, 1240, I subtract 1090, we will get 150. Okay, always find 1 unit, okay, which is the 1 day. So I'll just take 150 divided by 2, we will get 75. Okay, so that's the answer. That 1 day she uses 75 ml. Okay, so just take note of using the model to help you visualize. Let's move on. Question 4. A pail with a capacity of 12 liters was filled to the brim with paint. Caleb transferred the paint from the pail into some containers. Each container could hold 400 ml of paint. In the end, 2 liters of paint was left in the pail. How many containers did he use? Okay, first thing first. At first, the total capacity in the pail is 12 liters. Okay, never mind. So total at first, okay, to the brim, okay, it's 12 liters. He transferred, I don't know how much, okay, but then he transferred into containers. How many, I don't know, but each one can hold up to 400 ml of paint. In the end, he had 2 liters of paint left in the pail, meaning he did not transfer all the paint. He had 2 liters in the end. Okay, so first thing first, let's find out how much paint he actually transferred out. Okay, so volume, total volume transferred. Okay, I'll take the total minus the left. So it'll be 12 liters minus the 2 liters left because he did not transfer all. Okay, so he only transferred 10 liters into I don't know how many containers. All right, so the container, each one is 400 ml. This one is in liters, so what I need to do, I need to convert the 10 liters into ml by multiplying by 1000. So I will get 10,000 ml. Okay, so now I know that I transfer out 10,000 ml. In one container is 400 ml. So to find out number of containers, I simply just take the total divided by the capacity of one container. So there will be 10,000 divided by 400. Okay, you key this into your calculator, you will get 25 containers. And that's the answer for question 4. All right. So let's move on to question 5. The table below shows the overseas postage rate. Mrs. Chan sent a set of cards weighing 260 grams to a friend in Malaysia. How much did she pay for sending the cards? So for this, the cards that she's sending is 260 grams. So let's look at which category it falls. Okay, mass weighing up to, right, means the how much it weighs up to. Okay, so for this 260 grams is more than 20, more than 50, and then this one is the maximum that we are hitting already. Okay, so we have to look at this 100 grams. Then for every additional 100 grams or part thereof. Okay, so we definitely needs to consider the $1.50. So what I will do, I will take 260 grams. I minus the 100 grams first. Okay, because this is the minimum that you have to pay first. Okay, then we see how much more is the top up. So I'll still have extra 160 grams. So for this 160 grams is we are subjected to this rate over here. Okay, the additional 100 grams or part thereof. So for every 100 grams or part thereof means even if it's 101 grams, you have to pay 2 times of $1.20 because the first 100 grams is the first set, then the 1 gram will be the second set of $1.20. Okay, so in short, I have to find out how many groups of 100 grams are there in 160 grams. So I will take 160 grams divided by 100 grams. Okay, we will get 1.6. So remember, just like I say, or part thereof means even if you do not use the whole 100, you still have to pay the $1.20. So with this one is about 2 sets. Okay? Then the total, right? We have to find out how much you're paying. So the first 100 grams is $1.50. Then the additional, right? We have 2 sets of 100 grams. Okay, so it will be 2 times $1.20. Okay, because the every 100 grams is $1.20. So with this, okay, you can key this into your calculator. You will get the answer, $3.90. Okay. Next question. Okay, this is a ratio question, so I will have to skip question 6. Okay. And then question 4 is also not in the P5 syllabus, okay, because it's your 8-point compass. So question 7 also will skip. Then I will go through question 8. Sandy spent 5 out of 7 of her money, and Kevin spent 2/5 of his money. After that, they had the same amount of money left. The total amount of money left was $180. How much did they have altogether at first? Okay, so for questions like this, right, you have to be very focused when they say that they have same amount, okay? So this one is an important keyword because when it's same means the emphasis, the focus is on this part. So since it's same, let's find the fraction that is left for both Sandy and Kevin. Okay, so for Sandy, she spent 5 out of 7, right? Means the money left will be 1 whole minus 5 out of 7 to give us 2 out of 7. For Kevin, he spent 2/5, right? So the fraction left will be 1 whole minus 2/5 will give us 3 out of 5. So they are saying this fraction, right? The fraction left must be the same. So 2 out of 7, Sandy, must be equals to 3/5 of Kevin. Okay, so when fraction equals to another fraction, this is equivalent proportion question. You have to make the numerator the same, meaning the number on top. Okay, so 2 and 3, the lowest common multiple is 6. So how to make it 6? This one I have to times 3. So I times 3 times 3. Then this one I have to times 2 times 2. Okay, so this becomes 6 out of 21 S equals to 6 out of 10 K. So the denominator will represent how many units Sandy has. Okay, then this one here will represent how many units Kevin has. So it means that Sandy has 21 units, and then Kevin has 10 units. Okay, the question tells us the total amount of money left was $180. So remember, just now this 2 out of 7 and 3 out of 5 is the fraction left. Okay, so then after this one here, we went to multiply this units here is still the money left. The 6 out of 21 and 6 out of 10 is still the money left. Okay, so for Sandy, she has 6 units of money left, and then for Kevin, he also has 6 units of money left. So their total money left is 6U plus 6U equals to 12 units. 12 units is the $180. Okay, so I'll put 12U equals to $180. Always we have to find 1 unit. We take $180 divided by 12. We will get $15. Then we have to read the question. They're asking how much did they have all together at first. Remember, just now I say that Sandy original is 21 units, Kevin is 10 units at first. So I find their total by taking 21 units plus 10 units. Their total units is 31 units. So now I can simplify 31 units. I just take, remember, 1 unit is $15. 31 units will be 31 times $15. Okay, you key in the calculator, you will get the answer $465. Okay, so that's the answer for question 8. Let me just write down. Okay. Okay, let's continue. This one, question 9, is also a ratio question, so I'll have to skip this one. Okay, then we move on to question 10. The table shows the prices of tickets for a concert. So for adult ticket, it's $23 for one ticket, and then for the child ticket, it's $15 for one ticket. The number of adult tickets sold was 6 times as many as the number of child tickets sold. A total of $20,196 was collected from the sale of tickets. How much was collected from the sale of the adult tickets? Okay, so for this question, you need to identify the information provided to us. Okay, so we have the price of one adult ticket, we have the price of one child ticket. We also know that the adult tickets is 6 times as much as the child ticket. Okay, and then they give us the total money collected. So for this one, right, 23 and 15, they're actually the value. Okay, and then this 6 times, right, comparing adult and child, this is actually the quantity. So for this question, it's actually a quantity value question. So we have to draw the quantity value table to solve this. So I'll draw quantity, okay, then value, then the last one is total value. Okay, we have 2 categories. Yeah. We have the adults, and then we have the children. So the quantity, right, for adults, the children, it's the quantity is 6 for adults, and then child will be 1. Okay, it's like the 6 unit, 1 unit. The value of one adult ticket is $23, and then the value of one child ticket is $15. So to find the total value, always just take the quantity times value. So it's 6 times $23. I will get $138. Okay, let me fill up here. Same here, to find the total value here, I just take the quantity times value, which is 1 times $15. I'll get $15. Okay, take note, when I draw this table, right, this is actually essentially just like the one group. So we are doing the grouping question now. Okay, so this is one group. And then remember, the question tells us that the total money collected from all the tickets is 20,196. This is the total money. So first thing for grouping, our first step is one group, right? I must find the total in one group first, which is taking 138 plus 15. Okay, so my total in one group is $138 plus $15. I will get $153. Okay, second step for grouping is always number of groups. I take the total money collected, divide by the total for one group. So will be 20,196 divided by the total of one group, which is 153. I will get 132 groups. Okay, so once I have found the number of groups, I go back to read the question. The question is asking how much was collected from the sale of the adult tickets. So they are just focusing on the adult tickets. So my money collected for one group is $138. I'll just write down here. So my last step of grouping will be how many groups, right? In this case, I found in my second step here of the grouping is 132 groups. Okay, one group collected $138. So 132 groups will be 132 times $138. Okay, this one a bit squeezy. I'll get the answer $18,216. Okay, so this is my answer for question 10. Okay, so $18,216. Okay. So let's move on to the next question. Question 11. Miss Lim bought some identical notebooks from the bookshop. For every 4 notebooks sold, she received the 5th notebook for free. Each notebook cost $2.45. She gave the cashier $65 and received a change of $3.75. How many notebooks did Miss Lim get from the bookshop altogether? All right. So for this kind of question that has this kind of phrasing, for every 4 notebooks bought, she received the 5th one free. Okay, this one is the biggest hint that this is a grouping question as well because it comes as a set. Okay, you buy, okay, so I'll just write down here, your one group, you buy 4 notebooks, okay, you get the 5th one free, meaning you get 1 notebook free. Okay, this is how one group works. You buy 4 notebook, get 1 notebook free. Okay, the N represent notebooks. Okay, so the question say 1 notebook is $2.45. Okay, she gave the cashier $65 and received a change of $3.75. So first thing first, we need to find out actually how much did she pay for all the notebooks. So what we have to do, we have to take, okay, so the amount spent, okay, must be the total money she gave the cashier minus the change that she got, okay, because she didn't spend all her money. Okay, so you key this into your calculator, you will get $61.25. So Miss Lim only spent $61.25 altogether. So we know the total spend. Let's find out how much, okay, is the total in one group first. Because this is a grouping question, we have to start off with our first step of grouping, which is one group. So her total in one group, she only paid for 4 notebooks. So that'd be 4 times, the one notebook is $2.45. Okay, we will get $9.80. Okay, so the second step of grouping is number of groups. The total she spent $61.25. The total in one group is $9.80. So to find number of groups, I simply just take the total, divide by the one group. So that is $61.25 divided by $9.80. Okay, we will get 6. And then there's a remainder for this one is $2.45. Okay, so this one means there's 6 groups and a remainder of $2.45. So now we go back to the question. The question is asking how many notebooks did Miss Lim get, right? So we go back to the third step of grouping is one group again. Okay, one group, how many notebooks do you have? It's buy 4 and get 1 free, meaning 4 plus 1. Okay, every group you buy, it's 5 notebooks. Okay, just now we found that she can pay up to 6 groups, right? So this one is 6 groups. So one group is 5, 6 groups will be 6 times 5, we will get 30. Okay, but do not forget, for this one here, just now there's a remainder. Okay, she still has $2.45, which is actually for, you can pay for 1 more notebook. Okay, wait, let me write this properly. It's 1 more. Wait, this one is $2.45, can buy 1 more notebook. Okay, so here she already can buy 30 plus another 1 more here will be 30 plus 1 will give us the answer 31 notebooks. So the answer for question 11 is 31. Okay. Next question. In the figure, okay, this question 12. In the figure, ABC and ADE are identical equilateral triangles. So just to recap, equilateral triangles means all 3 sides are equal. Okay. Angle AHE is a right angle. G and F are points on line BC. And then they tell you angle BAF equals to angle CAF. So part A, find angle CAF. Okay, angle CAF is this one. Okay. So this one, they tell you both triangles are equilateral triangles, right? So all 3 sides are the same, meaning all the angles are also the same. Okay. So you need to know that each angle in an equilateral triangle is always 60. Okay, so you simply just take 180 divided by 3. Okay, each angle in an equilateral triangle is always 60 degrees. Okay, so with that, okay, so this angle here, the whole thing is 60, right? They tell you BAF is equal to CAF. So meaning BAF is over here, CAF is this one. So both are equal. So to find angle CAF, I simply just take 60 divide by 2 because they are equal. So that's my first answer for part A. And then next, I move on to part B. Find angle FGD. FGD is this angle over here. Okay, so this one I found it to be 30 already. So I'll just label. And then just now remember I say each angle in the equilateral triangle is 60, right? So this one here is also 60. Okay, so now if I focus on triangle ACF, let me use another color. Okay, this triangle ACF, this one here. Okay, I have 30, I have 60, I can find the last angle. Okay, so let me write down. Angle AFC. This one here. Okay, this one, I simply just take the total angle inside a triangle is 180 degrees. I minus the 30. I minus the 60. I'll get 90 degrees. Okay, so this angle here, angle AFC is 90 degrees. Okay, then next, you look at this, this is a straight line, correct? Meaning I can find this angle on the other side here, which is angle DFG. Okay, so angle DF, okay, wait. Hundred and 80, I minus 90 degrees. This other angle is also 90 degrees. Okay, so this one here, okay, I just write down here. This one also 90 degrees. Wait, this angle on the other side here, this one is also 90 degrees. Okay, and then this angle here, angle ADH, this angle here at the corner, remember, this triangle is also an equilateral triangle, meaning this angle here, each angle of the triangle is also 60, right? So this angle here is 60. So now I can find my last angle, which is what the question is asking for, angle FGD. Okay, because I have 90, I have 60, I can find the last angle already. I simply just take 180, I minus 90, minus 60 degrees. Okay, I will get the answer 30 degrees. Okay, and let's move on. Okay, wait, let me just write down this answer here is 30 degrees. Okay, let's clear the drawings and move on to the next question. Okay, question 13 is the average question. Okay, so this one we will skip it. Then we move on to 14. Question 14. Okay, Anson has a triangular piece of paper ABC with AB equals to BC, angle BAC equals to 38 degrees, and angle DEC equals to 34 degrees. ABC and BEC are straight lines. He folded a piece of paper along the line DE as shown. Right, so this one here, AB is equals to BC. So this one I can just write down, this is equals to this whole thing. So this is an isosceles triangle. All right, so we will take note of this for later. And then they tell us angle ABC is 38 degrees, so it's already labeled down here. And then angle DEC, which is also already labeled. So this is before folding and after folding because you fold along the line DE. So for questions like this, right, I would always draw the original form of the figure before it was folded onto the one that's after folded. So like this. Okay, so before it was folded, it will be like that lah. Okay, it will overlap a bit. It's okay. So I'll just label the points that are the same. This is A, this is D, this is C, and then this is E. B here. All right. So for this, remember for folding, okay, whatever that you fold up, for example, this angle here must be equals to this before you fold up because they are essentially the same thing. Okay, so if this is X, this is also X. And then for this question, there's also a Y. I think this part was omitted. This angle here should be angle Y. All right. So if this one here is angle Y, meaning yeah, we have to look for this angle for part B later. So let's look for part A angle X first. So for this one, we have 34 degrees here. Okay, so it's the same angle here. Meaning, right, if this is 34, this is also 34. So just let me label first. This is also 34 because folded up, right? So they are the same angle. So this is also 34 degrees. All right, so if this I know 34, I want to find X means I have to find this angle here as well, which is this angle. So if I look at this original triangle, triangle ABC, remember I said that just now it was an isosceles triangle, and we have the top angle that is 38 degrees. So to find angle ACB, okay, I just need to take 180. Okay, I minus the 38 degrees. Then I divide by 2 because the two base angles are equal. Okay, we will get 71 degrees. So meaning this one is 71 degrees here, okay, because it's 71 degrees. So if I know this is 71, this is 34, I can find angle X already. I simply just take the total in the triangle, which is 180. I minus 71. I minus 34 degrees. My answer for angle X will be 75 degrees. Okay, that's my answer for part A. Okay, for part B, I'll just use the space here. Okay, maybe I'll just use the space here for part B. Okay, because I'm still using the diagram here. So for part B, how to find Y? Remember, Y is this one here. And this, right, they say that BEC, this is a straight line. Okay, remember, a straight line is also 180 degrees. So if this is 34, 34, I simply just take 180 minus 234, I can get angle Y. So straight line, right? 180. I minus 34. I minus another 34 degrees. Okay, you key this into your calculator, you will get the answer 112 degrees. So the answer for part B is 112 degrees. Okay. So for this type of question, just take note to draw back the figure before it was folded. Okay, then you can visualize very clearly because the angles are the same before and after it's folded. Okay, let me clear my drawings and we move on to the next question. Question 15, a rectangular piece of wood had a breadth measuring 112 cm. Okay. It was cut into 7 smaller identical rectangles as shown. Find the area of the piece of wood before it was cut. So you have here the whole thing is your piece of wood. This one is the breadth is 112 cm. It's really labeled here. So you have cut it into 7 identical rectangles. So for questions like this, right, which involves this identical shapes, okay, being arranged together in different orientation, I will always go and find the part, okay, the different lengths together that matches, okay, and they are equal. So what I mean by matches together and they are equal, it's for example here. This part here, okay, different sides of your rectangle being matched up and they are equal. So this is actually equals, this one here is one length. Okay, but on the other side, it's not one length. It's how many breadth? There's one breadth here, another breadth here, and then this one is half of the breadth, means 0.5 breaths. Okay, So what I can conclude is one length of the rectangle is equals to 2.5 breadths. Okay, so why did I do this is because I want to make everything become either length or breadth. Okay, so if I look at here, this number is 112, right? 112 is made up of one length and one breadth. Okay, so one length plus one breadth give you 112. So just now I say I want to change everything to either length or breadth, right? So I want to change everything. This one length, I can change it to become 2.5 breaths. Okay, so this one I can substitute to become 2.5 breaths. This one, the rest I never change, I just copy down as it is. It's 112. Okay, 2.5 breaths plus one breath will give me 3.5 breaths. It's 112. Okay, this just treat it like units like that. I want to find one breath. Okay, I just take 112 divide by 3.5. We will get, okay, just key this into your calculator. You will get 32. This tells you that one breadth, the breadth of the rectangle is 32 cm. Okay, so with that now, remember the question wants me to find the area of the whole piece of wood. Okay, I know the breadth is 112 cm. I just need to find the length. The length is made out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 breadths. So I can find 5 breadths by taking 5 times my 32. I will get, okay, let me write this clearer. This one is 32. 5 times 32, I will get 160 cm. Okay, so now I know the length is 160, the breadth is 112. I can find the area. I simply just take length times my breadth. Okay, you key this in the calculator, you get 70,920 square centimeters. Okay, so that's my answer for question 15. Okay, don't forget your units. Okay. Question 16 is a patterns question, okay? So, okay, I think this one shouldn't have a blank here because maybe it got omitted by accident. So the white squares in figure 3 should be 7. Okay, because if you count here, it's 7. So part A, wait, just let me go through this. This is figure 1, this is figure 2, figure 3, figure 4. Okay, so this is a table to represent how many white squares and gray squares each figure has. So white squares for figure 1, there's 3. Gray squares, there's 1. Okay, and then for figure 2, there are 5 white squares and 4 gray squares. Figure 3, there's 7 white squares and 9 gray squares. And then for figure 4, there is 9 gray squares and, sorry, 9 white squares and 16 gray squares. So if I look at the white squares, the pattern from one figure to the next is just plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. Okay, that's the pattern for white squares. Then for the gray squares, we have 1, 4, 9, 16. So this one, right, you need to recognize that these numbers are a special set of numbers. They are called perfect squares. Meaning 1 is 1 times 1, 4 is 2 times 2, 9 is 3 times 3, and 16 is 4 times 4. So please recognize this sequence of numbers, okay? It can be very useful when you do patterns question. Okay, so 1 times 1 meaning this figure 1 is 1 times 1. Figure 2 is 2 times 2. So basically, whatever figure is that figure number times that figure number, you will get how many gray squares are there in that particular figure. Okay, so with that, for part A, how many white squares are there in figure 5? So figure 5 is just the next one, right? So currently we have 9. The next one, you just simply plus 2, we will get the answer, 11 white squares for figure 5. Okay, part B, in which figure will there be 101 white squares? So this is asking for the opposite. They give you how many white squares, you're supposed to find out which figure number. So if I look at the white squares, right? So just now I already shared with you, the pattern is just plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. So we have to, this plus 2, plus 2, right? All this we treat it like the intervals. Okay? 101, right, is actually a result of all the plus 2, plus 2, plus 2 from an original figure 1. Okay? So what I must do first is I must take 101 minus 3 first because this 3 from figure 1 did not come from the plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Okay, so I must subtract 3. I will get 98. 98 is the result of all the plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. I don't know how many plus 2, right? So to find how many plus 2 or to find the number of intervals, okay, the plus 2, how many times we plus 2 is also known as the number of intervals we treat it. So total, all the plus 2 add up to 98, right? I want to find out how many times you plus 2. I just take 98, divide by 2. I will get 59. Sorry, I'll get 49. Okay, so I actually plus 2 49 times in order to get 98, or I can just say it's 49 intervals. So once I get 49 intervals, how to find what's the figure number? Okay, the relationship between the intervals and the figure number, I just plus 1. Okay, so for example, what I mean by plus 1, it's, okay, from figure 1 to 2, there's 1 interval. Okay, from figure 1 to 3, there are 2 intervals. So if I have 2 intervals to get the figure number, I just take 2 intervals plus 1, then I get 3. Then for example, figure 1 to figure 4, there are 3 intervals, right? So 3 intervals, I plus 1, I will get 4. So take note, the relationship is always just taking the number of intervals plus 1, we can get the figure number. So this is figure 50. Okay, then we move on to part C of this question. This one, let me clear the drawings first. Okay, so part C, in which figure will there be 256 squares? So this one, I just want to write back. This is 1 times 1. This is 2 times 2. This is 3 times 3. And this is 4 times 4. Okay, and this figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, figure 4. So this one, they're asking which figure has 256 squares, which is a number in this column here. Okay, so same thing. This one is 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, 4 times 4. So what I have to do is I have to find out 256 is what number times what number. And this number here will be the figure number. Okay, so you can either use your calculator to test out, or you can use the square root function. Okay, this one is how the square root function looks like. This one. Okay, you can key this into your calculator straight away, you will get 16. Or you can also test out your calculator, test number, okay? And then you'll know that 16 times 16 will give you 256. So like I said, this number here is the figure number. So your answer is 16, figure 16. All right. Let me clear my drawing and we can move on to question 17, which is also the last question for this paper. Okay, question 17, Aini saves 6 out of 11 of her salary every month. In December, she saved $50 more than what she usually saves. With the remaining money, she spent 1/5 of it on a pair of shoes, $40 on transport, and $200 on food. How much did she save in December? Right. So for this question, right, if you see this kind of phrasing with the remaining money, she spent 1/5 of it on shoes. This is like fraction, 1/5 of the remaining money. So phrasing like that is the greatest hint for you that for such question, you need to draw model. Okay, so for the model, right, we go back to the first fraction here. She saves 6 out of 11 of her salary. So her total salary, you look at the denominator, it's 11 units. So for her salary, I will draw a total of 11 units. Okay, total there's 11 units. And then it tells us in the question that in December, she saved $50 more than what she usually saves. Usually, she saves 6 out of 11, meaning 6 units. But in December, she saved 6 more, right? So what she saved in December must be 6 units and $50. So I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and another $50 like that. Okay? So let me label this as saved up to here. Then this here to here must be her remaining money. Okay, and then the question says, with the remaining money, she spent 1/5 of it on a pair of shoes. So currently, this one is not like 5 equal units. So what I have to do, I have to draw a drop-down model, okay, so that I can draw exactly 5 units to represent her remaining money. Okay, so I have 5 units. One out of the 5 units is on the shoes. So it'll be like that. This is on shoes. Okay, and then $40 on transport and $200 on food. I don't know how to draw exactly, but I know all of that remaining money must be for the transport plus food, which is $40 plus $200. Okay, it's for this. So for this part, right, the $50, I'm not exactly sure how much of the unit is, but what I'm sure is this $40 plus $200 is 4 of this. Okay, so for the bottom model, I will use parts. The top model, I will use units to differentiate it, okay? So like I was saying, I know that this 4 parts here is equals to 40 plus $200. So let me write down. I'm doing from the bottom model, then go upwards, okay? Because the question is asking how much did she save in December, so we have to find the save here. So we start from the bottom model, it's 4 parts is equals to $40 plus $200 is $240. Okay, always find one part. We will get $240 divided by 4, it's $60. Okay, then we find total is 5 parts, right? Because we need to go from the bottom model upwards. So we have to find the total bottom first. So it'll be, sorry, this one will be 5 times 60. We will get $300. So from here to here, okay, it's $300. But if we look at the top model now, here to here is not equal number of units. We have to add another $50, okay, to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. Okay, so 5 units will be $300 plus the $50 here. We will get $350. Okay, always find 1 unit. It will be $350 divided by 5. I will get $70. Okay. So remember the question is asking how much she saved in December, right? So in December, remember it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units and another $50. So I'll find 6 units first. I'll take 6 times $70. We will get $420. Okay, then I just add another $50. I'll get my answer, $470. Okay, so that's the answer for question 17. All right, so I've come to the end of this session. Thank you.